Narasimhan. I now invite Professor Chandrashekhar Jog to say a few words. Professor Jog? You have to unmute your, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can be louder.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, can I start then? Hello, can I start?
Yes, start.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So thank you, Professor Narasimhan, for a very entertaining introduction to SIMA. So as he mentioned, he taught solid mechanics with SIMA from 1997, I think, to 2002. And then after that, from 2002 onwards, I was associated with SIMA in teaching the course on solid mechanics. So I think we taught it, I don't remember the exact number of years that we taught it together, but probably it would be something like 14 or 15 years, probably something of that order. So I think we taught it continuously from 2002 onwards to maybe 2013 or 14, something of that order. So we used to differ a lot on our grading policies, and so the grading would be like the blue and the red ends of the spectrum, you know. So blue stands for serenity, peace, calm, quiet, and so on. And so SIMA would be the blue end of the spectrum, and I would be the red end of the spectrum. So basically, you know, red stands for danger, and so or it's like a red flag before a bull, something like that. So the students would often, you know, like the part that SIMA used to teach, and so he was always the eternal favorite when the course was going on. So that was one of the things. And the next thing is that actually, I'm actually very grateful to him because he is the only person on planet Earth to have read my book. He did a very detailed review of the book for Current Science, and it is really unbelievable. He must have spent several weeks on the book because he has a very detailed breakup of the number of pages in each chapter, the number of figures, number of appendices, number of equations, which even I had not cared to do. So, I mean, it was a very, very detailed review over spanning like several pages of Current Science. And so he really he went through the book very, very diligently and carefully. So as Professor Sonti mentioned, he is a thorough academic. And so even in this case, he did a very thorough job on reviewing the book. He also spoke during the book launch in 2015. So, so he used to very often come to my room, you know, and we used to have discussions ranging over many hours on something or on some problem in mechanics or a general discussion and so on. So, you know, oftentimes actually his questions used to be so complicated that I would get dazed just by listening to his questions. So he would go like, do you have an analytical solution for some plate with some n number of holes in it and you know, some loading and so on. So it was like a Mike Tyson blow. So I would be reeling on the ropes almost immediately after hearing that question. So as I said, I would be quite dazed by his questions. So then after that, we would try to see over the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours or 2 hours to see if something would come out of that whole thing, you know, some approximation, something like that. But he was always from the classical school. So finally I would say, okay, if you can't do this thing analytically, then we can just do this numerically, you know. But he would have a very deep distrust of numerical methods. So he would always want some closed form solution or analytical solution and so on. I don't know if you know it, but he has, you know, been a very thorough student of the history of mechanics. I mean, he has read Timoshenko's books on the history of mechanics and also, you know, books by Truesdell and so on. So he's very well versed even with the history of mechanics. So he basically has a very deep love for this subject. And several people mentioned that he's to be found in the library or in various seminars and so on, and asking really good questions. So that is one thing. Even I found that his grasp of topics is really vast. I mean, he knows an enormous number of he has a mastery over an enormous number of topics. That is what I've seen in the seminar. I mean, I would sort of get lost very quickly, but he always had some very perceptive question at the end of the seminar. So you could see that he has a grasp on really diverse areas as well. Oftentimes he would kidnap me, like someday he would just say, okay, there is some book in some remote bookshop in Bangalore, and then he would just bundle me into some auto rickshaw, and then we would be off to, maybe I don't remember the places that we went to, but it was like some national college or something, some remote place. He would just take me there, and then we would spend hours there, and then finally get the book, because probably it was not available in the first bookshop. Then we would go to the second, and so on, and then finally we got the book that he was looking for, and so then he would go after that book. So this was a pattern with him. He used to kidnap many of the students also, and take them to various places. I don't know, there's a lot of restaurants or wherever. I don't know that, but so it used to be really good fun being around with Simha. So actually, I'm going to miss him a lot. With those long hour long discussions with him, I'm really going to miss that. So I just hope that he keeps coming to the institute very often, and we continue to have those discussions. So his loud laughter would echo down the corridor, and we are all going to miss that. So everybody has commented on his great sense of humor. So we are all going to miss that. So Professor Simha, I wish you all the best for your retired life. But I just hope you continue coming to the department and interact with all of us. Okay. So thank you very much. Yeah.